Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign of Cappy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general reads. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the Hermit card, right? In a lot of ways, I often say to people when this card shows up, your intuition is trying to get your attention. The reason we pull away from things, people, situations, the maddening crowd from time to time is so that we can hear our own inner voice speak. And this week it does feel like you're going to need to pull back from something. Like, so maybe this is not going to be the most social of weeks. Maybe this is maybe it's not the most social of weeks, but more importantly, maybe this is a week where you really start to listen to your own inner voice. And sometimes in order to do that, we've got to drown out everybody else's voice, right? That's the thing about the Hermit card. It's self-imposed. As my magical mama loves to say, it's not loneliness, it's aloneness. And there is a very big difference between the two. This is about choice, right? So what I want to say to you as well, this could be a week where an elderly person or an older person, a person that's considered wiser or older than you, may feature for you quite heavily, because the Temperance card, the Hermit card does represent the elderly, the older people, the wiser people. In a way, actually, it's kind of, even though this card is ruled by Virgo, the figure of the Hermit has a very Saturnian energy to it and behind it. So it wouldn't surprise me if you're having conversations with persons that are. And it also suggests as well, for all of you in some way, shape or form, if you are celebrating this week, a happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope that you're another year older and wiser, right? More so than usual. I hope you have a wonderful solar return. Remember to fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want this entire 12 months ahead to have in it for you. Learn the first 3 lines of that new language. Learn to play the first chord on that instrument that you're learning. Go for your first run. Eat your first healthy meal. Go for that first massage treatment to treat yourself and look after your body and give time back to yourself. Imprint the energy of the universe with what you want it to give you over the course of this next 12 months. All right. So if you are a continued subby, you know Raffi loves you, especially my Capricorns, right? You guys know I've got big love for the Cappies. If you are if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options, you have the Knight of Swords. So don't be so quick to pull yourself out of something. The reason I say this is because the Knight of Swords sometimes sees us doing things a little bit too hasty. And while this is definitely something you need to dedicate yourself to, if you just suddenly disappear and don't mention anything to anybody, they're going to straight away think, what's wrong? Why? Because you always show up. Capricorns are always there. They're the first person there when you need them, and they're usually the last person to leave. And if you suddenly just withdraw and disappear, it's not about explaining yourself to anyone, but if you don't want a million, oh my gosh, are you okays? This would be a time where maybe doing that too hastily could have like an adverse effect. You could end up creating more noise for yourself by doing that. So just do it in the right way. The other thing is as well, this could be a week where you are either called on to give information on something, or you are pulled away from your duties on a whim, right? For some of you, this could be an interview, very possible, but for others of you, this could also be where some development to do with your work, your profession, your career, or even a legal matter might move way faster than you had anticipated. So just keep that in mind, right? When it comes to your communications and conversations, you've got the 5 of Pentacles. This, especially because it's underneath the Hermit card, this would be a time where whatever information you have, sift through it. All right. The reason I say this, Venus is currently retrograde in your sign, is going to be retrograde up until the 29th of January and won't leave Capricorn until like the 5th or the 6th of March. So that's quite a long time to have a Venus transit, which is, you know, Venus transits are actually very beneficial, even if it is a retrograde one. But this does suggest to me that some of the conversations that you've had around money, finances and or budgeting, you're having to change track on this. So you're having to maybe revise something that you hadn't expected. I will say this to you as well, because it is the Five of Pentacles. Some of you may end up, this coupled with that Knight of Swords, you may end up having to have some time off of work. It's not to say that anything's going to happen to you, but I kind of feel like this is something that's going to pop up really spontaneously. You're probably not going to see it coming, but it will demand your immediate attention. And the reason I say this is the Five of Pentacles can sometimes see us being out of pocket or not able to work for some reason. So I wonder if this is that you're being pulled out of work for any, you know, any number of reasons, and it might be something to do with the family. Now, for those of you that are employed, this could be a time where maybe some job that you were promised, maybe some position that you had gone for. I don't think it's a no. I just believe that it's a not right now. One thing that I will say to you, because it's underneath the Hermit card, this would be a really good week for you to exercise patience and restraint. Just hold back, let the chips fall. Once they have, then make your decision. When it comes to your those of you that are business owners, people that work for themselves, I would give yourself some time this week. Take some time off if you can. You know, for all of you in some way, it does look like maybe even if it's just a day, you're pulled away from your duties. And I think that could actually be a good thing for you. And then when it comes to those of you that are retired or no longer working, this is questions about the finances, the resources, the budget. How do I make things go further? How do you know what I mean? Like it's... yeah, like I almost feel like this is you maybe getting a bit clearer on, you know, your retirement money, your disability money, if you're getting it, or like, how do I make the money that I have or the money that I have access to go further than it currently is? Is it going to stretch, or do I, you know, am I going to need to look at something else? And I'm really sorry to say that, but it does look like you're having to really get a handle on the finance this week. For your love and relations, you have the Emperor. For those of you that are single, it does look like there is potentially you meeting somebody, but you're having to go and see them. Like this person isn't, excuse me, this person isn't in your vicinity. It's like they're not local to you. But this could be somebody for the long haul. Remember, the Emperor and the Hierophant both speak to traditional commitments. They're both cards of commitment. So when I see these two together, it's like, it might be really quick to the outside eye. You know, some people might be like, oh, you know, I don't know, I think you're doing this a bit too hastily. But that's not their decision. It's yours, right? When it comes to those of you that are partnered or married or in long-term commitments, especially here with this, excuse me, there's the Capricorn. Especially with this, it's so annoying. With the Five of Pentacles here, I wonder if this is you, what's the word? I wonder if this is you and a partner maybe having conversations about money, about resources, about what you already have sort of committed to and what you can or will commit to moving forward. So it's going to be an interesting week for sure. For your money and materials, you've got the Temperance card. So whatever happens with the finances this week, it is short-lived, all right? Don't fret about it too much because it will come good. Now, you've got 2 5s here, technically, because the Temperance card is 14. 1 and 4 gives you 5. And then you've got the Five of Pentacles. 2 5s represents a vigil. And to me, a vigil it's kind of like an extended prayer. It's kind of like where you put your deep focus. It's rare for people to do vigils nowadays, to be honest. So I've kind of turned this into, or I've adapted it to say that this is about where you're really putting your attention, and you're really putting your attention to remedial efforts or energies to do with your finances. So finances will improve after this week, all right? If you're feeling the pinch, or if you're feeling the January blues and all the rest of it, don't worry, it won't last too much longer. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is a great card, and it suggests whatever challenges or issues you may have with health, you find good solutions to it. Maybe you get a really good doctor who gives you a diagnosis, but gives you an amazing treatment plan. Especially for those of you that have been dealing with chronic situations, this could be a great week where you get some good news about, you know what, we've finally figured out what the challenge or the issue is, and now we've got like a whole program of how we're going to help you get out of that that experience, right? And then when it comes to your home and environment, for those of you that live with multiple people, if there's more than sort of 2-3 of you in the house, you know, this week it could get a little bit tense. And this suggests to me this is why you're saying, you know what, you guys murder each other in the next room. I will be here doing my thing, getting my zen on, all right? And I think you should give yourself that this week. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.